Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next exit interview for Big Brother Canada 9. It's the fourth player evicted from the house. It's Kyle. Kyle is here. He is no more. And I'm going to be talking with him and asking him all of the questions that I have for him. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, of course, and this is Rob as a podcast. And here is Kyle. Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Taran. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You out of the house, fourth person evicted. Are you all right? How you feeling?
I'm good. That was a tough week for me. Being up next to my number one in the game, and then up next to a girl that I really cared about, and probably my number two. So it was really tough to have to try to stay in the house over them, but I'm hoping they're doing good.
Yes. Where do you think you went wrong here, Kyle? Because it did seem like you were at least one of the more knowledgeable players about the game in the house. You definitely had a lot of allies. Where did this all go wrong?
I mean, I think it's just making an enemy in Kiefer. He's such an emotional guy, and plays with that emotion. So he wasn't going to let our little confrontation go. And even though he's the one who's making up these lies, and in my opinion, if you're gonna put someone else's name in your mouth, you're gonna have to be able to handle us asking you about it. But just a flip of a coin of him winning that HOH, it could have went worse for me. And no, if you're going to make moves in the Big Brother house, there's going to be chances that the people that you kind of cross are going to win HOH and get in power and come after you, and that's what happened.
Yeah, yeah. You did mention that you were a vote to keep Kiefer. The other three were votes to evict him. And it seemed like you felt like that should weigh more. But in the previous week, it didn't seem like there was a lot of communication between the votes to keep Kiefer and Kiefer. Do you feel like perhaps there should have been more effort there, or do you feel like it would have been a lost cause?
I think the points of not kind of telling Kiefer, and he does feel lied to, I guess, by the people who kept him as well, even though I don't really see the logic there because, listen, we couldn't tell you because we knew that you would let it slip. He loves to talk. We needed to find a way to show him that we're not against him at that point. We're with them. And listen, there's three people that are going to evict you. And we were hoping he would wake up and smell the roses. But unfortunately, that almost just brought those four closer together and backfired on us.
Yeah, well, we know, I know that their Big Brother camping is a big deal, and I appreciated that you came in with a little bit of experience. How did this experience compare to playing your own version of Big Brother out in the woods?
Oh my God, this one is so much crazier. I mean, I mean, we're all in there. You get thrown in with a bunch of people you don't know. You got to figure out early how to read them, and not let the paranoia get to you. In the Big Brother camping, it's we're getting drunk, we're having fun, having a good time, and doing all these flips. But this was so real, and you make so many connections with people that last a lifetime. So to have to go against two people that I didn't want to see go and end up being Austin sitting next to me on the block, knowing that we were going to get split up no matter what at the end of this week was a really tough thought to process all week.
Yeah, we did see you getting closer to Austin slowly over time, over the weeks that you were there. How do you feel about that relationship?
Yeah, coming in when she came into the house, I kind of labeled her as one thing in my mind, and she flipped that all on its head. I think she's one of the kindest, most genuine girls I've met, and I wish we would have had longer than 27 days in that house to keep developing that because, like everyone saw, it kind of started picking up in the last week or two, and the block kind of brought us together. So I think if I was still in that house, that would keep developing. And I really do want to see her do well in this game. I think she has all the tools to do it. She's a great competitor and a great social player. So I think she's going to do well. So I want to talk to her soon, but not too soon.
Do you think she'll come to Big Brother? It seems like she was not into the idea at first. Do you think she'll come?
See, at first I don't think she was, but we started developing that connection, and she told me she'd be there. So
There you go.
Austin, you better be there.
Who do you think is playing the best game in the house right now?
Yeah, I think Braden's playing a really good game. He has those relationships with people, and the oddballs, we kind of brought everyone together there. I think me and Ro were the glue there, but I think Braden now is getting closer, and Tina and Tara are starting to trust Austin and Braden more. And you know what? Everyone loves Braden. He's a super fun guy to be around, and he's honestly doing very, very well in the comps. So I honestly think if our side can just get one flippin' HOH win, Ro, Austin, Braden are going to be set up for a long, long journey.
Yes. This is a very important question. Is Rohan in fact the most calm, cool, collected person in the house?
What? Are you kidding me? I'm the most calm, cool, and collected person in this house.
Sure. I mean, I haven't heard that yet. That is hilarious. Pretty contradictory while you're yelling at someone. We all got a good chuckle at that, but I love that guy to death. You know, he was standing up for me about comments that Latoya made, and I appreciate that about him, and we're gonna have a friendship for a lifetime.
All right. Okay, so if you had stayed in the house and had won HOH, what was your game plan? Who would you have targeted?
Yeah, if I were to stay there and win HOH, Jed and Ty would have been sitting on that block. So I think it would have made for an interesting week, and that would have drawn the line in the sand. Unfortunately, they got close to Kiefer and didn't want me to stay. And for Jed and Ty, I think that was the right move, because I would have put them up, and I know Ro would as well.
Mm-hmm. What did you have any end game plans? If you had your way, your ideal sort of end game, what would it have looked like? Who would you have been sitting next to in the final two?
In the final two, yeah. So I really started trusting and getting close to Austin and Braden. Early on, obviously, I trusted Ro solely. And then to kind of bring those two into that, I felt like we could tell each other anything. It felt like it was us four against the world, and I would have loved for that to be our final four. And obviously, yeah, I gotta go with Showtime in the final two. You know, my bro since day three, and I would have loved to be sitting next to him in the finale. I hope he can still do it with one of Austin or Braden.
What is Ro's path forward here now that he is without you? Obviously, he's got, you know, Austin and Braden to some degree. What's the path forward?
Yeah, the one thing we did do that we were unsuccessful at was try to get Vic up there as a replacement, which might have broke some trust in her, but hopefully we did enough in the ball pit after to kind of rebuild that and explain to her what actually is going on. And these guys are lying to you this whole game. Admit that we did that. Hopefully she can see from his position and my position that was our only possible way that we could stay and make sense for Kiefer. So if he could pull her in, kind of make her his duo, and have Austin and Braden and Tina and Tara, if one of them win this HOH, it should be smooth sailing for a bit.
All right. Would you say that there is a lot of hypocrisy in the house?
I
Do you
would.
actually not know? Do you actually not know?
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, Kiefer, we have obviously a rocky relationship, but he always liked to talk about kind of how good of a guy he was and how good his word was. And it was just so hypocritical to me. You'd see him saying all these things behind people's backs about their character, attacking them, playing the victim all the time, and then ends up putting up Austin, the one girl who he made a deal with that would not touch the block. So I just kind of had to call him out for that. And Ro might have filled me in on what hypocrisy means completely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me here, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
There you go. That was Kyle. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today. I will, of course, be live every single morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything going on the Big Brother Canada 9 live feeds as long as they exist. And after every episode, recapping what went down in the episode. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. I am hanging out there, chatting with people. If you want to ask me questions, you can find me there and ask them to me there, and I will answer them. And yeah, come hang out. It's a blast. I'm also covering The Circle, Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's fun there too. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.